Now recording. Yeah, Richard.
What the fuck do you want?
Now recording.
You have to go back to your back room so where we can hear you every time you go to the bathroom.
Now recording.
Get a stream on stream.
As I think I'm muting it every time and nobody ever tells me I'm not muted. Thanks, guys.
Or that time where you were muting but we could still hear everything.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was on mute every time I did that. Did y'all end up playing anything Saturday?
No.
Every time and nobody ever tells me I'm not muted. Thanks, guys.
Or that time where you were muting but we could still hear
Is that
everything.
me? Oh, Cesar's listening to us. I mean, I thought I was... We're all in there, though. Yeah, there we go. Now recording.
Shit. There we go.
Now recording. You guys will be proud of me. I actually have a game played this weekend. I think I'm coming back to life. I'm definitely in tomorrow night also. I'm coming back to life. The weight has been lifted. Back, bitches.
Evanescence bring you to life.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess I could talk about that.
Evanescence? Where's this going, Brant?
In a way.
In a way. Kind of, sort of.
It's a Devil May Cry related.
Yeah.
Did you watch the anime?
Watched completely the anime. It's pretty good.
It's
very loosely based on the game, but it's a good time. It's a good time.
I watched the intro to the song, to the Limp Bizkit song on the first episode, and then I kind of stopped it all the way up to that point. I was like, "Oh my god, this is good,
dude!" There's 2000s music like
all through it,
all throughout. The fucking Butterfly is in there. Oh, what else was that?
That's awesome.
Something else.
Some deep cuts.
There's something else in there that I can't remember.
Crazy Town was on that 3.
Ugh, really?
I can't remember what's the name of the. I can't remember what song is playing when he's on like that motorcycle going down the highway.
Got to move on. KT gave a thumbs up. Did KT also experience the Devil May Cry anime?
She did.
Thumbs up.
With no prior DMC knowledge, she
that's where I'm at.
Enjoyed.
And Cesar's knowledge is liking the one that nobody else likes. As well as
the one from Alice Garland. Yeah.
As well as the originals. They're on Humble Bundle or something. I need to see which ones I'm missing in my Steam collection and grab those. Did y'all see Humble Bundles going up in price, but maybe not confirmed for the US yet?
I hadn't seen that.
Still good value.
Doesn't surprise me now. Everything's fucking going up.
Everything's going up, including Xbox.
Like our first story.
On to our next story. We haven't even started. We haven't even started doing anything.
Got a lead in.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Let's go.
Yep.
That's our third shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 347 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and podcast featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Podcast. I think I said podcast in the first part. Tonight's news. Gaming gets more expensive. Layoffs hit Respawn. Media outlets in limbo. There's 2 specifically that we'll mention this week. Switch update removes digital game share? ? What does that mean? Find out later in the show. We have your May PlayStation Essential Games, and this year's biggest game has been delayed till next year. Did we actually even think it was coming this year? Not a lot of news there, just kind of a non-news news? News of non-news? An announcement of an announcement, right? Basically. I'm one of your hosts this week, Richard Bergman, joined by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
Yes, one of the other hosts for this week.
I don't know. I said part of that backwards, and I was like, "Oh, just get it out there." Newsmaster Brant McKee. Yes, one of your hosts this week, alongside myself, Newsmaster Brant McKee. Brant, welcome.
What's up?
Brant, thanks for building the news.
You helped, sir.
You did great. I threw some stuff in there. You did wonderfully. This is a weird, it's not a lot of good news in here, is there?
No.
PlayStation Essential games? Right?
Is that our good news?
It's pretty much it.
And there are some games in there. I mean,
we're getting some games with the essential level of PlayStation Plus.
Probably one of the best card games out there right now.
Yeah, that is a huge, that can't be understated. That is one of the viral games right now.
But that game is not even that expensive, and it was everywhere, and it also goes on sale sporadically, so.
Yeah. Value is
in the eye of the beholder. I was gonna say, it'll be good to get it on there.
Mm-hmm. That other voice you heard, our resident soundboard and lore master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Genki, doing well.
What has been your Balataro system of choice so far? I've yet to play it. I think I have it on 2 or 3 things, and I've yet to play it myself.
I got a physical copy on Switch, and then...
But it's always getting updates, right? Aren't they always putting
updates? I think it was on Game Pass maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I've yet to play it on that. So.
Cesar's got to cancel his physical copy of Suikoden 2 for the Switch too now.
Oh, what? Is it a Game Key one? No, why are they doing this?
I mean, they said that there's only two card sides, right? There's 8 gig and 64 gig. They just want to pay the money for the 64 gig.
So you're either Nintendo compressing somehow these wizardry compressions they do where all their first party games fit on those cards, or you're doing a 64 gig card like Cyberpunk, right? Is that basically what it comes down to?
They said the card size. So I think what was in Mario Kart World is 24 gigs, and then Donkey Kong is 11. So they're using the 64 gig cards on both.
Is that why they're more expensive like that?
Probably, yeah. It's probably why the cost is a little bit higher as well.
You did see our humble discount applies on the Nintendo Switch 2 games like Donkey Kong. I think we get it for 62 instead of 70.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So doesn't make sense why they couldn't fit Puyo Puyo Pop 2 on a gig card.
Right? That one kills me. That one kills me.
Yeah.
But there's a handful. There's a handful when Marvelous has got 3 games coming out that is all on cart. So those are the ones I'll buy.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Switch 2 might be my digital Nintendo console. They may drive me to it. And then I just wait till some physical cart's super cheap. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Since last week, I have joined you guys with the pre-orders on the Nintendo Switch 2 console.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Now we just need Jeremy to get this backup system Cesar's got.
He's going to lean towards that one. So Jeremy was right there with me with the Mario Kart bundle. I don't know why he didn't pull the trigger, but I was telling him it was available. I was like, hey, fucked around. It let me through. It worked.
Hey.
So
if he can't find his own, if he wants to wind up buying the one-off Cesar, I will buy him a copy of Mario Kart if I have to.
Oh, then there's that. That'll be our 4th. So I'm currently in for maybe the
now we need 20 more people.
20 more people.
20 more people. 4 down, 20 to go. So I've got the Mario Kart Switch 2 bundle. I got the camera, not the Piranha Plant. That was my preferred camera, but not at the shit resolution.
The product plant comes off the stand. You can put it on the console on the very top. So
that's also cool. And the Pro controller.
That's why it's
the new
480p.
Pro controller. Oh, that makes sense.
It's portable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
think you mentioned that last week, that it was probably the same tech as what was in that portable one.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. I just want to play Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
As God intended. Are we popping that in?
It's definitely in my rotation 24/7. So
yeah, I'm definitely down for Splatoon 3. I'm in for this.
Hell of a bunch of Switch games that'll hopefully play way better.
Run better, or we can use like 2004 era online features where we can chat with each other.
Now we're in the OG Xbox Live days.
Yeah, we're playing. We finally got Insignia support added to Splatoon 3. We can talk to each other and play the game at the same time.
Hey, we'll all have the cameras, but I don't want any Uno funny business.
No promises.
What was that? Uno Live?
I bought that camera too. I got that little combo pack. They called it the 360 camera, or the Live 360 camera, I think. It had a special nomenclature to it. Yeah, there was a lot of people playing naked Uno, if any of our listeners are too young to remember what was happening during that time.
No.
Naked Uno. You'd see somebody sitting back dealing with their controller, but there were some extra appendages in shadowy areas of the camera.
Extra joysticks.
Just sounds like a chat roulette. That's all that sounds like.
Pretty much. Or Astro's Playroom when the PS4 came out. Go ahead, Brant. You got a good bit there. I know something's coming.
I was just going to say, there's your episode title, is Extra Joysticks.
I'm already typing it in. It's already in the notes. Extra joysticks is
Extra
already
joysticks.
There. I like it when it doesn't take too long for the episode title to come forth. When we have a good one right front and center. Nobody has to think about it.
Just rises up for you.
Yeah. Right in our faces. It's staring us down.
Yep.
Pointing right at us. Hey, you got to do this one.
What's also staring us down is these looming inflationary and tariff-driven prices.
Go ahead, Brant. Tell us about these tariff-driven prices.
Oh, this comes from
TDPs.
Jordan Middler of VGC. For this, we're gonna mainly focus on USD pricing, but to note that this price hike is going on worldwide for Microsoft. So literally just the other day, as of the recording of this, Microsoft put out like a little presser saying that they're raising the prices on everything. All the hardware, the games, obviously the series systems, consoles have been increased by about 100, or in some cases more, and games will be priced at about $80. And they said the $80 game pricing will probably take effect more like toward the holiday season, I guess. But as for the increasing here, we have, so if you want just the original like Xbox Series S, the 512 gigabyte model, that's gone from $299 up to $379.
That's crazy. That is a crazy increase.
1 terabyte has gone from $349 up to $429. The
a 1 terabyte Xbox Series S almost costs as much as Series X right now, before this increase you're about to add in there. That's madness.
The digital Xbox Series X has gone from $499 up to $599. The Series X with the disk drive has gone from $499 to $599. If you want the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Series X, that now has gone from a whopping $599 to now $799. $229.
That's insane. Holy shit.
At this point, it's there's still some budget like PCs and gaming laptops that you could get for that price, and then
this also
go
puts you
on
in
Steam
Steam Deck territory.
Yeah, you can get on Steam Deck,
ROG Ally, even the Lenovo thing. You're in Lenovo Go territory, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. I would say of more flexible machines around that price too. That lend themselves to all sorts of games and ways to play for that same price. It's just freaking ridiculous. But to continue, they're also raising the prices of the controllers as well. You have the core controllers going up to the core controllers are staying at
those aren't
65.
Changing. Yeah.
The wireless are going, or no, they're also staying at 69. But the special editions are the ones that are going to 79 from 69. While wireless controllers, the limited edition stuff, will go from 79 to 89.
What are the differences in those? Is the special edition like when they do like carbon black or velocity green? Is that what those are?
I think that's what it is. And then the limited stuff is like the theme overall. Like
Doom the Dark Age, or like if they do a Forza Horizon controller, that's what those consist of. Okay.
Yeah. Your Elite controllers, the Elite Wireless Series 2 core is staying the 149. Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 full is going from 180 to $200. And the stereo headsets, regular stereo headset is going to $65, where the wireless one is going up from about $110 to $120.
So no increase for the stereo, the plug-in one, but one or a $10 increase for the wireless. That wireless Xbox headset is my favorite headset to use. I love that thing. I like the Pulse 3D one for PlayStation, but there's something about those dials for the Xbox where you can just totally tune that in. That is a great headset.
This article also...
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
This also just does mention how the cost in Europe for the PS5 stuff has gone up.
Mm-hmm. But not for us yet.
We haven't seen it here yet, but I wouldn't doubt that the costs are going to go up here.
Is anybody tempted amongst the three of us before it happens?
I don't know.
SR?
Probably not.
What's up?
PS5 tempted before some sort of tariff impact of any kind?
I already have PS5
Pro. I'm sorry, PS5 Pro.
Okay. I already have PS5 Pro.
Oh, we discussed this?
No, I bought it secretly like 6 months ago. I didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
I traded in my old one and refreshed like I always do.
That makes sense. Okay. I don't think we knew of any upgrades or, graphical changes or better experiences for certain titles or anything like that. So,
I mean, the biggest one I've noticed is probably for Forza Horizon 5, because the ray tracing on there is pretty crazy on the fidelity mode. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the best cases of ray tracing I've ever seen on the console.
Damn. I'm laughing at these Oblivion videos I'm watching where the PS5 one is like the better performing version of Oblivion remastered. But the most recent patch came to the series consoles before it came to PlayStation. But it seems like the PlayStation one needed it the least so far. But that is interesting. Yeah. I've thought about the PS5 Pro myself. If I was playing it a little bit more, I might be tempted. I'm kind of scared of what these prices are going to turn into. I mean, growing up until the PS4 generation, growing up, we were always used to consoles diminishing in price, right? They went down slowly.
Yeah.
And so for them to not
first
only
generation where they're appreciating in value
for
here.
them to not only just hold costs like the PS4 did for so long, they're going up in price, like Brant mentioned. It's like, oof. Grab your Xbox now, or is Microsoft driving us to whatever else it is that is an Xbox? Do we get a Fire Stick 4K Max for $35 and play and stream Oblivion to that? That's our Xbox, right? That's a convincing use case now sometimes.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody's talking about how Nintendo broke the levies on $80 games because a lot of the people in the industry have been saying for a while we need to charge more for games, or developers are saying our games are worth more than this, and and this is kind of on the heels of Microsoft this past week being like the top seller across the board, even on like Sony's storefront.
Yeah.
And they sold 5 million? I think it's 4 million or something of Oblivion. And 500,000 on the Claire Obscura.
That strategy's working, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, the Oblivion remake was, we talked about that the other week, it was $50, so.
Yeah, more to come on that later, because that thing's not solid yet. I know Cesar was saying, like, maybe wait on the patch. I think after putting some hours into it, I think I might be in that same boat.
I think Brand said that. I think I was testing it live.
You were testing it live, right?
Yeah, Brand was the one that said to hold off until patch for the handhelds.
I think so. I think it's the way it's going to be. Oh, I'm trying to take this next one, but it's not loading. Come on, VGC. All I see is hundreds.
We got hundreds of jobs lost as EA calls to Respawn game projects. So the 400 workers are said to have been laid off. This is from Andy Robinson from VGC. Electronic Arts has canceled 2 projects at Apex Legends Studio Respawn. Reported laid off hundreds of workers across its entire business. This was announced Tuesday that the targeted team needed to make some adjustments across for Apex Legends. Some targeted team adjustments that came across Apex Legends Star Wars Jedi, which I think is the 3rd game in the series that's being made now. They announced what was a turn-based a la Warcraft Star Wars game coming soon from them as well. So I think that their 3rd game that Respawn's currently developing.
Are they doing the XCOM one that got shown off? But I don't know if we talked about that or not. Yeah.
Not sure if we did or didn't, but it's like that's the one that's kind of like that Warcraft, StarCraft one as well. So XCOM, any of those ones are Marvel Knights, which one you want to call it. I think I'm looking at it here. EA shares declined more than 16% in January, lose around $6 billion market value. I think that was contributing to the fiscal year 20. Was it? Yeah, FC 25. And Dragon Age, the Veilguard had failed to meet expectations. Football Club 25 being FC 25, which is their version of FIFA now. Announcement of nearly 700 people were laid off. I don't know. I'm looking here. I'm trying to see. They described, I think, what was it? Jason Schreier said one of them was a extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe.
Yep.
Which there are a couple extraction shooters coming out this year. Oh, it is in this article. So that's going to be a thing, apparently. So.
That's what Marathon is, right? Weren't we talking about that last week and trying to decide if Marathon was our cup of tea or not? That it's an extraction shooter.
And there's another one that was been in development that since 2021 that more people seem to be excited about. That's also coming out this year as well. And I think they've also been doing play tests on Steam at this moment. So, trying to remember what it was called. But I think a lot of people said that they liked that one more than they liked Marathon.
Oh. Has the Marathon playtest gone out?
The alpha's been played, but I don't think anything's been released.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of people saying that they should probably push that game back.
Are they going to listen, unlike the Concord recommendations?
Fix your game, Bungie.
Oh, too soon, Brant. We all liked Concord. Did we
Richard,
not?
You liked Concord, Richard.
Brant did not like Concord. He was.
I played Concord. I don't know that I liked Concord. It was okay. It was super generic.
It was one of those. It felt just as generic as all the other one of those.
I think Brant, if I remember correctly, his complaint was I can play other stuff that's like this for free. Why am I paying $39 for this?
Yep.
He voted with his wallet. That was an accurate analysis.
Arc Raiders is the one that's everybody's clamoring about.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the extraction shooter. It's been in development since 2021. And they're doing their beta test right now that a lot of people are like, this is way better than Marathon. Way better.
Interesting. Is that it for that one? That article never loaded for me.
Yeah, here's I think that's it. I'm looking at the PC Gamer for Arc Raiders, and they said, after thousands of hours in Destiny, I had serious concerns about Bungie's Marathon reboot, but now I've played it. My worry is whether or not it'll be good. And they talk about Arc Raiders there are two things Arc Raiders is doing very well that Marathon currently sucks at: progression and PvE.
Bungie's pretty good at PvE. So they're dropping the ball on Marathon so far, according to this early feedback.
And so the guy quotes this game as PV, PV, EV, PV, PVE. It's the way to describe this game. So, yeah.
It's a multiverse of multiplayer.
Sounds like he's peeved.
He's very peeved.
But yeah, I think you can go on Steam and try to get into beta. I think right now they're only doing the beta for PC, but I think it is coming to consoles for Arc Raiders. So it sounds like it's gonna come out this year, right around the same time as Marathon. So, and I don't think Arc Raiders cost money. So
is that something we should look at together, all three of us? Maybe.
I mean, why not?
And Buish and his $8,000 PC.
Worth giving a try. Inflation, $10,000.
Oh God, yeah, it's going up. That's what's
$12,000. Yeah, that's it for your unfortunate hundreds of jobs lost at EA. The once primarily huge publisher that was killing it in the PS1, PS2, PS3 years have slowly declined since then. So, or it's not even slowly; it's declining rapidly since then. So
rapidly. Anti-consumerist decisions maybe had something to do with it.
I don't know, man. They were also good on doing third-party publishing too, and they've stopped that completely outside of a handful of indie games a year. So not even a handful, maybe one or two. So
is that their originals program they call now?
That's what they call it now.
Yeah, originals.
Yeah.
Which some of those haven't hit, right? Like Immortals of Avium, I think, was one of the last big ones. Some of those haven't really hit like they thought it would have, and like people said they would support.
And unfortunately, we go into more layoffs, and this time hits into the media outlets that have been plaguing us within the last couple of years.
Yeah, I put both of these stories in there.
Jordan Middler from VGC said the future Giant Bomb website is in doubt following the prominent staff departures.
I saw this coming a couple years ago when they started gutting Giant Bomb, and the writing was on the wall, right? When they got sold from Red Ventures.
So the night before, I think I didn't see it because Dan Reichert took down the VOD, but I did hear about it in the morning. Was he went on a stream and kind of discussed the direction that they wanted? Was it Fandom? I forgot who owns it now. It's not even Red Ventures anymore.
It was Fandom.
Wanted to take the Giant Bomb. He says they wanted them to do more guides. It's kind of basically changed the whole thing, and he basically said in that stream, like, consider this my departure. And that morning, Jeff Grubb said he had unfortunately left and is opened up his Patreon for Game Mess again, as well as Mike
Minotti,
who also has left. Then they did a generic post on the Giant Bomb's Twitter account saying that they're still in discussions of what the future of Giant Bomb's going to hold. And so everything else is kind of in limbo because I think Jeff Bakalar hasn't left yet. So,
Bakalar was still there?
I think I don't know. He wasn't one of the departures yet, so he might be writing it out to see what happened. Because remember, he moved from CNET, so he kind of got dragged out of that.
Yeah. Oh, poor Bakalar.
And at the end of this article, if you do go read it on VGC, they kind of go into details about how Giant Bomb started as departure from GameSpot, who it all took one bad review that they disagree with from advertisement reasons. Yeah. That kind of spiraled this whole thing on there, and then within the last couple of years, within the last 5 years actually, as they were being sold around from CBS, we had departure of Brad, Vinny, and Alex, who went on to do Nextlander, and then Gertzman finally left, and he does his own thing.
God, that's been almost 3 years ago since Gertzman left. That's wild to me.
After that, when they were acquired by Fandom, they let go Jason Oistreier. Was laid off. One of the
Abby Russell right there at the same time, right? Was Jason
Abby left to do? But outside of that, I mean,
I can't remember.
Yeah. I mean, that was it. I mean, because they had the closure of Giant Bomb East, and they did the unification one since they went more remote, and so it's been on a slow decline as they kind of dealt that company around.
All right, so
I know that was probably one of the reasons why Gertzman left, because he mentioned that before he wasn't on board with the direction of the website was going under Red Venture before it got sold to Fandom.
Yeah.
So,
is it time for Gertzman to be able to reclaim Giant Bomb and then start building all these people that got segmented and cast out over the years? I mean, they've all been successful in their own right. Like Nextlander's doing well, Jeff Gertzman show's doing well.
They could typically, sometimes if you're lucky, they could just end up not needing this IP anymore if it doesn't do well, and he could buy it back and just relaunch it for him at least.
Yeah.
Whether or not this market and this way that everything is now, I mean, it gaming personalities. I don't know. I think they would still have a thing, but who knows?
I think it would be awesome for all of them to be back together again.
And then outside of that, we also were foretold news that Polygon was sold to Valnet, and the majority of their staff was laid off as well. And that they seem to be going to the way of certain sites where they typically put guides on there and have AI written articles where, they just type in keywords and have articles written up, and AI.
This sucks.
Seems like the direction they're going. So you have Chris Pallant, who was the EIC, made an announcement that he was no longer Polygon, and a lot of his talented writers and editors are now on the market, and told everybody to kind of hire them out there. And that included Michael McWhorter, Nicole Carpenter, to name a few. Over the years, that website was created in 2012 with, Brian Crescent, Russ Pitts, Justin McElroy, Griffin McElroy, and then Arthur Guise, which we all know.
Arthur Guise! We love some Arthur. He used to be on Rebel FM.
Outside of that, I think that was also an article on VGC. You can look on here if you want more information. This is from Jordan Miller. And I mean, that's just about it. I mean, there's nothing that's been really announced to the direction of Polygon or where Polygon's going to go now.
Sucks. These are two of my favorite sites over the years, over the last 15 years, right?
But I think this was a warning from Schreier that says there's not going to be many true legit gaming sites. So gaming's not the same as it used to be. We get maybe 1 or 2 big games a year. It's not a lot of hidden gems unless you're on indies-based stuff, and everybody seems to want to talk about big games, and so most of the people just arguing in a giant room. So, but
I don't like this future. I don't like this future of press coverage or releases or midnight launches or anything.
But as things come around, sometimes things circle back. So you give it time. People miss things and they make it come back. So
they do.
But yeah, those are your 2 unfortunate media changes and some industry layoffs that happened within the last week. So
not super pleased with that, and hopefully these talented artists land on their feet in other avenues.
hopefully everybody does better. I don't know. There's not many places left, so I think I think Gita, who used to be in that Kotaku sphere, pretty much said, was telling a lot of people out there is find legit sites that don't do gaming because they want to do gaming articles. They don't have people that know enough about gaming, so Newsweek or something like stuff like that. Something like Gene does at Washington Post. Find those to stand out in and start there is what her recommendation was. So instead of just going to all these gaming related sites that seem to at some point all go down the same path of throwing AI writers and let's put guides on there. So
Simon Parkin mentioned on My Perfect Console, there's a European publication. I can't remember if it was Edge or who, but they had just gone through a restructuring and they're pivoting the other direction. So there's going to be even more gaming articles written. The Observer, maybe it wasn't Edge, maybe it was the Observer. But one of the ones he was mentioning was kind of the pivot we're hoping for here, like where there's a groundswell of people wanting that sort of content. And like this buyout, they had talked to him, like the editor-in-chief or whoever this was going to be coming in, and they were like, do not worry, we love your content. It's going to be more of this type stuff that we're going to be wanting and that you can hire up for and things like that. So maybe we get to this point. Maybe we're lucky that like nobody ever grabbed us or we never hit it big. 347 episodes in, we're self-published. We're doing our own thing. We decide our own content, our own hours. We don't pay each other. We have no advertisements. Maybe that's been a blessing in disguise this whole time. Maybe it would have been a problem getting yanked around. I'm assuming we would have been a little bit wealthier by that point though, right? Instead of potentially self-funding the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I think the next thing we're bringing up on here was we all recently just updated our Switch to the new firmware 20.
Cesar's killing the news. Go for it, Cesar. Let's do it.
They just recently did a new firmware. I think that kind of patched out this thing on here, but apparently there was reports going around that people were playing the same digital game on two different consoles at the same time, and which go against the whole value of what what Nintendo was trying to do, which allowed you to let people borrow digital copies,
share them back and forth. Yeah,
right.
And there's a process, right? Is it like the Pikmin moving your save files back and forth? Does it at least show you something?
Yeah, you come in there and you basically hand a digital copy to somebody, but it takes it out of your rotation. So it's not, if you have a digital copy of Splatoon 3 and you're like, all right, I'll let Richard play this. You got a 2-week window and I can let him borrow it and I can revoke it at any time, I believe.
So it's like Shuhei and Adam Boyce. It's just a digital version of them handing off that same game. Yeah.
So there was a glitch on the recent update that allowed, I would have just gave Richard my copy of Splatoon 3. And for whatever reason, I still had access to my copy of Splatoon 3.
I have a copy of Splatoon 3. Why are you loaning it to me? We needed a fourth player.
And
loan it to Mark's night.
We both still were able to play it. Yeah. So that's not supposed to happen under this circumstance. So you're supposed to be able to, virtually load and eject a game card. So it's basically would show that your game card is loaned out like they would do it like at a library when you do digital books and stuff like that. So
they corrected it quite quickly, right?
Yeah, because I think it was a primary and secondary system was being used to like test them out and stuff like that, where people were already, how people are, they was trying to find ways around stuff. So I think it was on Reset Era where they were trying different games and like doing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and whatnot, if I remember this correctly. And so this is also going to be a big feature in Switch 2. So big push on the digital front on this console. So
they had to make sure to get that right.
And this was from VGC from Chris Scullion. So
I'll pick up from there since Cesar has been plowing through the news. Cesar, well done, sir. PlayStation Plus monthly games for May. This comes from Adam Michel, a la PlayStation blog, blog.playstation.com. Starting May 6th, PlayStation Plus members are going to get Ark Survival Ascended for PS5, Balatro for PS5 and PS4, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun for PS5 and PS4. And those are your 3 PlayStation Essential titles. Blatro is the card game that Cesar mentioned in the... I can't remember if we were recording yet or not, but it might be in the post-credits audio segment that you get that I throw in after the credits there every week.
I do... Baltro, I've played a little bit of it. It's a fun game. I can't recommend Warhammer Bolt Gun enough. It is a...
Oh, shit.
It is a
It's
Doom
like a Quake
clone.
Quake / Doom. Old school.
A lot of fun.
Can we play this together?
Pretty decent.
I don't know if
it's
it's
of any kind.
Co-op or not. I think
okay.
I think when I played this on Game Pass and it was solo. I don't remember if there was a co-op version.
Let me look it up.
Okay, we kind of downplayed this. These are 3 pretty good titles for PlayStation Plus Essentials this month. A super addictive card game, a great Quake-esque 90s first-person shooter you guys are talking about, and the ever-popular Ark Survival Ascended, which Cesar and I always assumed was like a caveman game, but it was like dinosaurs shooting lasers at each other and shit. We saw it on a PlayStation E3 or some sort of presentation. It was like, what has this game become?
It's 1 player.
1 player, bolt gun.
Yep.
But these are all for PS4 and PS5, except for Ark Survival Ascended, which is only for the PlayStation 5. Last but not least, this news came out today, May 2nd, 2025. As of this recording, that is today. Grand Theft Auto 6, which was tentatively released for some time today. Rockstar Games has announced via their blog, "Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26th, 2026. We have a definitive date now, right?
Yep,
we are
2026. Look at that. Look what they did.
They did that on purpose, it feels like. We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need to deliver. We need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games." Did they maybe see MPD charts and see that they're still selling a metric shit ton of Grand Theft Auto 5 plus Shark Card games, SKUs?
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I know we talked about it in pre-show, but I think this is the actual first time they actually gave it an actual date instead of a generic around this time or fall or... So this is an actual release date.
That is true.
Also, don't forget that they pushed back Red Dead Redemption 2 like 3 times. So.
Yeah.
Also, this release date could be pushed back multiple times. There's no telling. But tentatively now, it is May 26th, 2026. 52626, as Cesar said. Is that it for news? This was a news heavy show. We plowed through some stuff. Games played. I don't think any of us played anything this past Saturday. We didn't have a stream, right? No stream occurred. I have been dabbling in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, the version that has recently come out for all platforms. The easiest way for me to play is via Xbox Game Pass PC for the Republic of Gamers, the ROG Ally. And I just kind of installed it. First I tried streaming it. I think I talked about that last week, right? Like I tried streaming it and it was like super choppy. It's like, this is not a good scenario. I'm not going to do this. So I downloaded it locally. I got plenty of storage space. Like I'll fire this thing up and see how it goes. It runs you through a regular Windows setup where it's like, you know, your settings are just the default. It auto detects your graphics card and all that kind of stuff. Well, before I got to this point, you need a set VRAM of 8 gigs, I think, and 16 gigs of system memory, perhaps. And it immediately balked at me and said, you don't meet the minimum specs for this game. So I was like, ooh, let's see how this goes. Because I've seen some people playing it and it looked fine. And the way Oblivion starts is that you're a prisoner in a prison, and these guards come through your cell, and they have the Emperor, and the Emperor walks up to you, and he's like, "You're the guy from my dreams," or gal, you know, depending on the character you've created. And where our destinies are entwined, and the guards will never understand, but you must come with us. And so the Emperor, who is voiced by Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart, I might add, his sons have been killed, and he's trying to get out of the imperial city of Cyrodiil, and escape, right, and get out of there because assassins are after everybody. And you bob and weave through the sewers and through these areas underground, and the guards still don't trust you. And at the very end of it, the Emperor is assassinated, but he's given you the Amulet of Kings that you have to take to his secret heir. And you got to go to a guy named Joffrey in Waynon Priory, and he's going to fill you in on the story. So that's where I'm headed. As I'm playing, as I mentioned, like you're going in this underground area and then you're in these sewers and stuff. I'm playing this flawlessly. I'm like, oh my God, everything I read about this was false. This performs like butter. Like, I'm so happy. I'm doing my stealthy archer thing. I'm like sneaking around. I'm shooting people with arrows. I've played this opening area of Oblivion at least 10 to 12 times, I would think. Like, I know I'm going to play an archer. I'm going to play a wood elf. Like, I'm just going to sneak around. This is my thing. And I very much love the introduction of this game. I think it's told really well. I think they introduce a bunch of the story elements, gameplay elements, and the design is just, it's so good. They immediately immerse you in the universe and the music and kind of the lore of the Elder Scrolls with the emperors and the Amulet of Kings that you're giving. They did a great job in this remaster of like redoing Patrick Stewart's character. Emperor Tiber Septim VII, I think is this version of the Emperor. Some of the other character models I've noticed haven't gotten quite as much attention as the Emperor got. And this port is done by Virtuos, and I think overall their work is really, really great. But you'll see some weird stuff, like even Final Fantasy X and X-2 these days. People are like, the faces are not right. There's some issues with some of the backgrounds. Like, there's just odd. They definitely took some design choices, especially as you get out in the open world. But I think overall, this is like a really, really well done remaster. But there's a strong but here. So you get out of I've talked about this before, like one of the first next gen moments I felt like was in Oblivion was getting out of the sewers and opening up this gate, and just, you have this open world. Like, you know, the Todd Howard thing is kind of played out. Like, see the mountain? You can go up there. That's what you could do here. And you didn't have these type worlds on the GameCube or the PS2, or even like Morrowind you had on the Xbox. You had like the fog of war. It couldn't render these full areas, and you couldn't see things that far off into the distance without it being some sort of fog or something. And I was getting probably 30 to 40 frames per second on low with VRR on the ROG Ally in the sewer. And then as soon as I opened up into the open world, tankage. It bombed out. I would say I'm getting like 18 to 20 frames per second. So think of like an Ocarina of Time open world. Very choppy. Some interesting, like if an enemy is charging you, and something simple like a mud crab, or mud crabs are like the first outdoor thing it's scuttling at you and it's on the ground. But these things are coming towards you, and you're trying to back up, and you're just getting so much like hitching and frame tearing and stuff. It's just, I was like, oh God. And I was plugged in the whole time. So I'm already on turbo. I went in the settings. I popped everything down to low. Basically that feeling of my PC can't run this. Let me get as low a settings as I possibly can. And I've watched some videos I talked about earlier, like looking at the Digital Foundry stuff. And it seems like the Series X and the PS5 and even the Series S. The Series S is a pretty solid 30 frames per second, unless you're like running in a horse and jumping down mountains and like making it push that engine and do a bunch of rendering and stuff. It seems to do fine. But I may not be exploring a lot of open world stuff in this game on that version. And I have yet to download it on the X and try locally. But this may be one of those things where, and this is first world problems, right? Where I explore dungeons maybe on the go. Like I save my game in a dungeon, and then I know I can pick that up on the ROG Ally with the Play Anywhere transfarring, as we like to still refer to it as, and just play some of those indoor areas. Because when I'm indoors and I'm creeping through a dungeon, this is my favorite part of Oblivion and Skyrim, is just discovering somewhere and going in and raiding it and seeing what's in there. Because it performs flawlessly indoors. It's awesome. Like it's the ideal way to play this. One thing I've noticed, Skyrim, if you complete whatever the dungeon or the cave or tower or whatever it is in Skyrim, it will tell you, you'll get like a little drum roll, like, and it'll tell you it's complete or that it's cleared. You do not get that in Oblivion. So there's been a couple times where I've been in like a castle or a dungeon of something, and I'm just wandering around like, did I find the bottom? Like, did I get to the end of it? Did I find what I was supposed to find? And I'm still working my way towards the Wayne Priory that I mentioned, and I'm right in front of Joffrey. That's the last place I saved. I walked in there. I'm looking at Joffrey. I'm about to ask him about the Amulet of Kings and the blades. The blades are like the sworn bodyguards of the Emperor, who just failed. So that's not a good look for them. Yeah. They just failed at their quest. Even though they left me, like I was the one protecting the Emperor. They were like, protect the Emperor with your life. We're gonna go look for these assassins. I'm like, here it goes. Here's what's gonna happen. But they didn't blame me. They were like, the Emperor saw something in you. You must go see Joffrey. So here I am off to do this. And I know where this quest is going to go, but I'll catch you guys up through the upcoming weeks. Again, I've never beat an Elder Scrolls campaign. I probably have 500 hours in these two games, and I have yet to beat the actual story mode for either one of these. I'm still close in Skyrim. I haven't given up on that one. I know exactly where that story's at, and I know what I need to do. I'll just have to fire that up on Steam Deck or something one day and keep plowing through that. I also downloaded South of Midnight. I feel like with Clair Obscura Expedition 33 and the release of Oblivion Remastered, South of Midnight kind of got lost in the shuffle, right? And I was super excited for this game. Mm-hmm. And I don't hear anybody talking about it. I don't know, it's because it didn't hit any of these other platforms or there was so much distraction around this time, but that's the game. Even last week when I was like, man, Game Pass is really hitting between Clair Obscura and Oblivion Remastered, but I forgot all about South of Midnight. Like I didn't even mention that one. And then you got Doom Dark Ages coming up, so there's some pretty good content on that in that library pipeline right now specifically. But I want to try that out. I need to see how that performs on the ROG Ally, but Oblivion I'm having so much fun with right now. Again, I think before next week I'll download it on the Series X and then see what that looks like with the transfarring and switch kind of between my play styles. Like maybe I could pick up 30 minutes in a dungeon at lunch one day and then, get 2 or 3 hours at home in the open world where the Xbox performs noticeably better than that portable handheld PC.
Yeah, South of Midnight plays pretty well on the ROG.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I need to try that one out. I feel like it's gotten lost in the shuffle. Like I feel like it's one all three of us would love, and we should pick up the banner and kind of fly it for that one.
Couple of hours into it, it's not that bad.
Okay. All right. I might need to look into that one too.
That was like when it came out last month. I think I downloaded it and played.
It's been a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But that is it for my games played. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered.
Let's see. We played nothing last week, so I think.
Has there been a Warzone update? Do we need to all update Warzone before we jump in tomorrow?
Warzone has been updated.
I need to check that tonight. Remind me.
And then I think I've put most of I've played a lot of games this week, but most of my time is probably Forza Horizon. I'm the very end of that game right now. Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, the campaign on it, like going through all the festivals and stuff.
Yeah, I got everything unlocked. At this point, I'm just
cleaning.
I'm just cleaning up. So,
killing it.
I think the last one I'm working on is the tour of Mexico, where basically it's like almost like a 20-minute car drive, and it's like it goes around the whole map, which can be problematic because on some of those turns, it could totally throw you for a loop when you're going through foliage if you don't hit it right. And man, thank God that game has a rewind feature. I use that a lot. So, but I think the things I pulled out from this game is I am playing it on the Pro. I'm playing it on performance mode, which hits at 60 frames per second with some ray tracing on, and it looks good. You could do fidelity mode with 30 frames per second with full ray tracing, which looks even better. It's native 4K on the Pro. I think my favorite feature of this game is probably the PS5 DualSense controller integration on it. I wish they would port that. I don't think it's. I've played this on PC. I don't think the PC version recognizes the PlayStation 5 DualSense still.
It's weird how that's like hit and miss, right? Because some titles seem to and some don't.
But I do like the gas and braking is tied to like every other racing game, which is right R2s for gas and then L2s for the brake. This game, why I love Forza so much is because the driving is very similar to Ridge Racer, where you can kind of hit the gas, he can kind of hit the brake at certain turns and then do a drift, and you also have an e-drift, and this is stuff that Forza does within the last couple of years has done very well, and it makes it feel very natural for me. So it's easy for me to make turns on there versus doing a driving simulator, which is the OG Forza or Gran Turismo, which tends to replicate actual driving, which
super simulation.
Tends to frustrate me more, but I get it. Some people relax on that, and they go at the speed they want to. Me, I tend to go for the arcade racers. I always have been. Yeah. We haven't had a Ridge Racer since Ridge Racer 7 on PS3. It was probably the last numbered entry outside of maybe some offshoots. Yeah, outside of that one that supposedly got canceled on the Switch, that would have been Ridge Racer 8 that somebody found.
Y'all saw the Ridge Racer Arcade Archives is coming to other platforms too, not just the Switch too.
Yeah, it's part of that hamster thing. That's their next big push was doing the 3D arcade port. So we're probably gonna get Soul Edge, Soul Calibur, all that stuff on there.
Soul Calibur, please. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really much I can talk to. I mean, if you have Forza on other platforms, it pretty much plays the same. I think it does look better on the PS5 because it does utilize the Pro the best. Outside of that, I do prefer playing on PS5 just for the controller. I wish they would patch that controller support in there for the PC version. I think it's a game changer because it does give some resistance on the brakes and gas, and you can feel that, and it does enhance the gameplay for me. It makes it better because I was making turns way easier on the PS5 version than I did when I was playing on the Series consoles or PC. So I just kind of adapt to playing stuff like that. So outside of that, like I said, I played a shit ton of stuff. But I'm not going to sit here all day and talk about it. So I'll just go with that. So that, and at some point I did acquire the new Fatal Fury City of the Wolves because I am a Fatal Fury fan. So at some point, which has gotten a lot of good reviews. So at some point I'll fire it in there. I don't know, the whole fact that Ronaldo's a character kind of pisses me off, but whatever. So
the famous football player.
And Swedish DJ is also a character in there as well, which is weird. But
a Swedish DJ, a specific one.
Yeah, I forgot what his name is. I just know he's like Ronaldo. He's just a big guy in Europe, and he's just in there. I don't even know how he got there.
What's he doing in Fatal Fury?
Who knows, man? I just know it has their own version of like
That's so bizarre.
The main city from Fatal Fury. I forgot what the name is. It escapes me. It's kind of like the Capcom's version of Final Fight, where they're all in Metro City or wherever that place it takes care of. It's like the same thing in this one. It's like a recreation of it, like not as big as Street Fighter 6 is, but it has like their version of it, which is pretty neat. But I'm excited about getting into that. I haven't started it yet. I have downloaded it. At some point, I will jump on and stream Bleach. I've been playing a little bit of that on PS5 and enjoying that because. It kind of, I don't know if it's the best way to experience the story. I don't think it is, but it is. I'm getting that vibe when I played Dragon Ball Kakarot, where I'm like, it goes through the story arcs pretty well, and I'm like, this is scratching that itch because I don't have to go through all that fucking filler. And it tells the main story pretty well
and lets you play it at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think the only thing that holds me back is Arena Brawler, and which basically Brawler, which basically is what that means. It's like rock paper scissors. So it's like you have a strong attack, a light attack, and like a special. And it's like it's rock paper scissors. It's all about like if somebody else throws this, you throw that, and it can be frustrating at times. So, but I do like the progression of the story arc, so I think at some point I will jump on there and stream that because I was playing the tutorial and I was a couple of weeks back and I'm like, yeah, I might want to stream this because the story mode might be decent to watch.
Show us some Bleach, I'll tune in.
But that's it for me. I'll kick it over to B-Rant.
Brant, bring us home.
Not much for me. I can confirm that Oblivion does play great on the Series X because I also downloaded it and started playing it a little bit.
How far did you get?
Well, just for kicks and giggles, I saw somebody make one of their cats in the character creator.
So you're a Khajiit?
And so for the hell of it, I was like, well, I'll mess around and I'll make a Khajiit character. And one of the cats was in here. He was walking around, and as soon as I started the character creation and started messing around, he turned around, he saw it, and he ran over here and sat down right in front of the TV. And
really?
Every he sat there and just watched everything I changed, every attribute, everything. He just kept staring at the cat on the screen. I was like,
that's why cats.
It was hilarious.
That's why cats are majestic creatures, man.
Khajiit has wares.
I didn't get super far. Yeah. I did get out of the sewers. I did the little glitch to already max out my I got stealth pretty high up there.
Oh, and you're creeping by 70s. Those goblins. Yeah.
I
should have done that.
The lock picking. I got the lock pick. Well, the stealth is the best way is to early game is you fast travel back to the prison, go in, talk to the guard, and say you want to visit a prisoner, and then let him start walking you down the stairs, and then talk to him again, and do the same dialogue tree, and just say that you want to visit a prisoner. And he'll leave you. He'll go back to his post. And there's a prisoner down there that's just behind the bars. All you have to do is crouch and keep pickpocketing him. Pickpocket, exit. Pickpocket, exit. Pickpocket, exit.
Ew,
and it your sneak goes up.
I need to do this. Interesting.
The trick for lock picking is when you go to lock pick, either one you've already solved or one that's solved for you. So when you lockpick on there, it shows
frustrating as fuck, by the way.
It's not that bad.
It's fucking frustrating as hell. I've broken so many fucking lockpicks. I'm good at it in Skyrim.
It's a profile view of the lock. So it's from the side. Your lockpick comes in from the side, and you've got usually 4 tumblers that are sit down, and you've got to, press them up,
and then lock them into place.
Their position and lock them into place,
which is aggravating as hell.
The thing is, one that's locked into place is there, so you can take your lockpick, put it into position, and if you keep just spamming A on it, you'll hear the ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum, that's you leveling up, and you just sit there, spam A on one of those tumblers that's already solved and into place. It doesn't count as an attempt. It doesn't break your lockpick. You just spam A. You will max out your lockpicking, and it'll be so much easier.
Really? All right, I'm doing this. I'm doing both of these this week.
There was some other stuff that I saw, interesting little things that were hey, here's a cool little piece of armor you can get, and I tried to do one of them, which involved kiting a specific enemy into, I think it's into the capital,
getting them to chase you into the capital by aggro.
And so I did this, and the guards are supposed to attack the character. But instead, as soon as I walk in, they're like, "Stop, criminal scum! You violated the law."
What have you done? What'd you do?
What the fuck
did I do? You stole a piece of bread or something?
And what's crazy is if I redo the save, I walk in there, I'm fine. I come out, I kite the person again, and you're
Stop. A criminal again.
You violated the law. I'm like, okay, so there's some kind of maybe they knew it was a glitch and already patched it out or something. I don't.
It's supposed to be the same game under the hood, right? With some engine enhancements to like archery and leveling up, and that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm. So, after that, I was like, and it was kind of late anyway. I was like, I'll mess with this later. But it is a fun little game.
I gotta try your.
So I hadn't gone over to Joffrey or anything. But yes, the lock picking thing works. That pickpocketing thing takes a while. That's why I got to about 75. Once you get to 75 and over, you get to like master status anyway. So I'm like, I'll naturally level up from there and it'll be fine.
Perfect.
So, and then other than that, I got some stuff in.
Games acquired
from Limited Run that I've been waiting on for quite a while. And both of them are brand new games that are somewhat retro.
Okay.
So first up is this Rugrats Adventures in Gameland.
How is that Rugrats game?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But it's a 2D platformer. And you can actually switch back and forth between what they call the HD graphics, which looks more like the cartoon from the 90s, or 8-bit graphics, which looks like you're playing it on a NES. And it is like kind of that old 8-bit style platformer from back in the day.
But it never released on NES or Super Nintendo, right? This is a new game?
No, it's a brand new game.
They made an 8-bit coat of paint for it then.
Yes.
Interesting.
And in that same vein, this is a game that was never released, but now has seen the light of day and is a absolutely brand new spanking game.
Duke Nukem Forever.
For the Game Boy Advanced.
Oh. Shantae and the Blank.
Shantae Advanced. Risky Revolution.
Wasn't this like ready to go, but they canceled it at the last minute or something?
Yeah, this was the game that was like, it was ready to go on the Game Boy Advanced, and I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was like late in the life cycle or what, but they just, they chose to leave it on the cutting room floor, but it was pretty much done.
Damn.
And this is full on, I mean,
it's on the cart and everything.
Run. Yeah, limited run.
That's cool as hell.
Put it in the same kind of little cardboard box that you would have back in the day for Game Boy Advance. There's a little Game Boy Advanced style manual in the box even. And
what are those? What's a game manual?
Translucent purple cart that definitely plays on your original hardware.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, Brant just unpackaged basically just an unboxing, and it has everything you would have gotten with a brand new Game Boy Advance game, circa 2002, 2003, the heyday of the GBA.
It's really cool to see this game not only get released, but get like a release as it should have been intended.
Yeah, that's super cool. Plays well. So have you tried it out?
No, not yet. Yeah. I need to pop it into the Game Boy player.
Yeah, pop it in the Game Boy player and stream that bad boy.
Hell yeah.
Let's see it. What else you got, Brant? Are those your games acquired?
Actually, no, I did.
Get another copy of Days Gone.
There's a Hidden Treasures, like a little flea market type thing, up the road from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just happened to see some of their listings were some video game stuff. So I went up there.
Okay.
And shoot, I wound up seeing some game manuals and things. I showed you all a picture of those.
Yeah,
I wound up getting one for Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. It was like $8.
That's a good find.
I found he had some like consoles and everything there, but my main thing, I guess, because this dude is just kind of doing it on his own as a side thing, and I guess renting this space. His name, oddly enough, is Jeremy. He's got like I got one of his business cards. It says he buys, sells, and trades retro video games and consoles, and he has like a Mercari page or whatever. But
maybe send that on to us.
My biggest thing looking at what he had there, I'm like, man, you really need to clean your consoles a little bit better. And I mean, like the stuff he had, he actually did. He'd have everything. He had like some NESs, a Super Nintendo, a Wii, a Super Slim PS3,
How did the prices run on these things?
Original 360s. He's actually very, very like
competitive,
reasonable about his prices.
Any warranty or anything with those?
I don't know. I didn't get to ask him. He was talking to somebody else when I walked up, so I just kind of like perused and looked, and some of the stuff like I wasn't super crazy about the way like he put like those regular little sandwich baggies, not like the Ziploc ones. He had some loose PS1 games in those sandwich baggies.
Oh, not even like CD sleeves?
No, he just like wrapped them in that little cellophane and set them off to the side in a stack.
Yuck. It's better than nothing, I guess.
The same thing with UMDs. That copy of Rainbow Six Vegas
that you acquired.
I sent y'all was I didn't buy it.
Oh, Brant, buy Rainbow Six Vegas for the PSP.
For the PSP, but those were also in that little cellophane. I did, however, find a copy for the Xbox 360 of Big Bumpin'.
I thought we already been through this. I'm having deja vu. Why are we buying these again? You already bought all three of these.
I've got Sneak King. I didn't get all of these. But
so which one are you missing now? The Brooke Burke one?
Big Bumpin'.
Is that the Brooke Burke one?
Gosh, I don't remember what the other one was.
Sneak King, Big Bumpin', and
wasn't
it like Crazy Carts or something crazy?
Yeah, it was like a.
That's the Brooke Burke
game, or it was a.
You have the Brooke Burke one.
I also, for just like a couple of dollars, picked these up. These were loose Xbox original Xbox games, but they were just a couple of dollars, and they are in much better condition.
Pocket Bike Racer. Which
I got the
Brooke Burke game is the one you're missing.
Pocket Bike Racer, that's it.
Oh boy.
I got there it is, the Sega
GT 2002 Sega GT and Jet Set Radio Future.
Jet Set Radio.
There's another SKU that is Jet Set, that is Sega GT Online. It's like a more direct port of the Dreamcast one before that 2002 version. I'm sorry, after, but it still has all the online components. I don't have that one in my collection, believe it or not.
And the other game I picked up is one of my all-time favorites as a kid on the PS2. But I was pretty sure that the Xbox version had something different with it. I couldn't remember offhand, or maybe it was the original one, not 2. But I got Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2
for the original Xbox as well.
Not bad for loose, right?
The freaking all I remember is the pizza delivery mini game, like crazy, and the terrible, the terrible hokey but folksy dialogue. They actually got Tobey Maguire to do the voice lines, and boy, did he phone it in.
He didn't give a shit.
Not at all.
At all?
Not at all.
Uh-oh. Brent, your Sega GT Online is now playable online using their replacement Xbox Live service called Insignia. Oh. We could potentially all play that together.
We should give it a try.
I'm trying to see which one came first now that I've thrown that out there, whether it was GT Online or GT Online 2002. I can't tell. I don't know. That one came out in 2004. Yeah, I think GT Online came out 2 years after that set in that one that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a hell of a disc with Jet Set Radio Future and the Sega GT Online.
Oh, yeah.
2002. It was climbing in price there for a minute, despite being included with so many holiday consoles for they probably sold, 3 to 4 million in that holiday bundle over 6 months or so. And it was climbing for some reason. It was becoming an expensive title. Is that it for you, Brant?
That's it, man.
Is that it for us, gentlemen? We're wrapping up.
Yep.
Think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.